Absolutely. So here we go into picks and bans, and there's pretty easy picks for a couple of these team members on Trigger Happy. A couple of targeted bans you can do, like we know that guy loves Aatrox, but I think we're going to see some more judicial picks and bans coming from taking out that Lux away from Troll to Noob, which is a very reasonable ban.
Yeah, I think Lux is a reasonable ban, especially but I mean, at the same time, I don't know. I think it's definitely easy to play around. I think the big thing that we've seen from Troll to Noob is his playmaking ability on some of these supports, so maybe, they're scared a little bit of just him popping off on some Lux.
Absolutely. Taking away Set is one of those champions that it feels like everyone on NG Blossom can play effectively, so getting rid of that. Shaco being removed from games in my hand, which I loathe Shaco in these sorts of games, and then Lulu being stripped from XDME.
Yeah, we see, the Lulu ban is one of the key ones that we've seen so far, because I think XDME really benefits from playing and a safe enchanter like Lulu. I know we've seen XDME struggle a little bit more when they're playing Senna. Their positioning, they get caught out a little more. So we might have to see with the Lulu gone if they're able to position properly and stay effective.
So, ending that up, we have Aatrox taken away from that guy, his comfort pick, and then Yasuo is stripped away, but first pick is a Karthus, the champion that did so much damage to NG Blossom yesterday. They picked it up immediately, and it's impossible to say what lane this Karthus is going to be going into.
Yeah, I mean, we could call it, a double or a triple flex between ADC, mid, and jungle, but, with Black Oreo Cookies being a mid main, who knows? Maybe they'll throw a top lane too.
Games in my hand is going to be getting a hold of a Graves.
Yeah, and that's a very strong early game skirmishing jungler that we see, especially if he's running that Smite Ignite phase rush. And then we have a Bard coming out for Troll the Noob, but I really like Bard. He's one of my personal favorite playmaking supports to see. He's starting to get seen all over in competitive play, and
Absolutely.
He can really roam around the map. His ult is versatile. You control your team, you can hard engage, you can save your team. There's so many ways to play this champion.
XTME is going to be getting a hold of a Nautilus, it looks like. But yes, that Bard has been so powerful in so many forms of play right now. I love to see Bard picked up.
Yeah, and we see a Nautilus coming out as a pick, and Bard has actually been picked as the answer to Nautilus quite often in pro play, but it is still much stronger in lane, so if they're going for that lane dominance, Nautilus can beat Bard in lane really hard.
And here comes the Volibear. This could be a top, this could be a jungler. For all we know, this could be an ADC at this point. It's been a little wild lately.
Yeah, I really like seeing a bunch of flex picks coming out because, you don't know where Volibear is going. He could be top, he could be jungle. I think I like seeing him a lot in the jungle with the way he can ult towers to tower dive people. So, you can really punish weak laners, or you can really 4 or 5 man bot lane with that ult and just kind of get free tower divers off.
So speaking of wide-ranging champions, Galio being picked up, and as we move into the second ban phase, ADCs are getting stripped away. Ashe and Ezreal are removed.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Ashe as a ban coming out for Trigger Happy is a little questionable. They could have actually probably saved it and picked Ashe themselves, especially with Bard and Graves and Galio. They just have so much utility on their team. But we do see, like you're saying, the Ezreal ban.
There goes Akali. That's most likely a ban against Heal It Up, who is a support or who is a sub, not the normal player, but
yeah, his Heal It Up's most played champions are like Yasuo, Akali. We might even see like LeBlanc or Sylas potentially coming out for him. He seems to really like playing those assassins.
And there goes the Jinx. So
yes, we'll have to see what he kind of falls back to.
I mean, you don't typically want to take those assassins against the Galio anyway, but
it's definitely strange though, because we still see Mr. 200 Years is still on the board. He's gone a couple games actually without being picked.
And Catinator does have a lot of skill with him, but recent nerfs on him have been pretty intense. That's an Olaf. It might be an Olaf top lane. It's a little difficult to say, but Olaf definitely a pickup. One of my favorite champions to take it to the jungle. So
I think it probably will be top. it's also possible with how late it came in. It was a very rushed pick, but it is a strong skirmishing top laner, and it definitely has potential to beat a lot of fighters level 1 when people aren't expecting to, just get queued to death by Olaf.
And XCME being able to pick up Janna, most likely XCME, let's be real with ourselves, we never know right now. Things have been very questionable, but Janna, one of XCME's like a good champion for him to pick up. It's an Enchanter support, very powerful.
Come on, they can always pick Senna and then have Catinator play Janna, farming Janna down here, okay?
Absolutely, and Jace is the final pick.
They really want to keep some flex picks here. I think you're most likely going to see a Karthus AD carry with how this is looking, though.
It definitely looks like a Karthus AD carry. In fact, a Janna Karthus lane seems pretty terrifying. Vayne is the final pick for Wundle, and we are seeing positions divvied up. That definitely looks like an Olaf top lane, Jace in the jungle, Galio mid, Vayne as an ADC, and Bard. Whereas over in NGB Blossom land,
hey man, XD and me, I told you, man, you never know. They might pull out some, but there's the swaps finally. They're just trying to make
swaps are coming in, but is that a mid Nautilus?
I didn't even think about it. I was definitely thinking more of a tank Nautilus top, but with how mid Nautilus has been with, Doin B last year and his proto belt roaming style, it's certainly interesting. I don't know if I like it as a melee champion versus Galio. He might get punished hard early on. We'll have to see what type of roam pressure he's able to have with this Nautilus early game.
So this kind of lane was what obliterated NG Blossom yesterday. It's an interesting take. They are hoping to dominate bottom lane. Jace against Olaf is a pretty entertaining game for Jace.
It's going to be entertaining either way because neither one of those champions wants to fall behind.
I will say it's good to see Exasperated back on a champion that's a little more what we tend to expect out of Exasperated, a playmaking kind of brawler to tankish character, more in line with him playing Olaf or Trundle, champions he's done so well on throughout the season. Volibear also in that wheelhouse, so that's a good pickup to see.
Yeah, and overall, though, when I'm looking at these team comps, I do give NG Blossom the respect they deserve with their 12-1, but with the way their team comp is, they really don't have that much damage. They have Karthus has his damage, don't get me wrong, but if he gets popped in that fight, you're looking at the side of Trigger Happy, where you have the late game Vayne, with Bard to protect them, with Galio to protect them. You even have Graves smokescreen. And you're looking at the side of NG Blossom we have 2 tanks against Vayne, and one of them's supposed to be our mid laner, so we'll have to see, if Jace and Karthus, and even Nautilus get ahead, this Vayne's gonna hate it.
Absolutely. So this looks like this is going to be an interesting game. We have 3 teleports on the side of NG Blossom to Trigger Happy's 2. Looks like a Heal Ignite bottom lane against an Exhaust teleport for Catinator and XDME.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if TP advantage comes into play. I don't really expect Karthus to TP out of lane. His first TP is probably just going to be back to lane. If he's going to tier build, he'll probably buy a tier, TP back after that, and maybe the second teleport will be used on the map. But we do, like you're saying, the exhaust coming out from XDME, which can be actually very detrimental to Vayne. I don't know if you got to see any LPL the other day, but we got to see a support's exhaust single-handedly save his team from losing a game. So we might see something similar to that today.
Vayne definitely does not appreciate being exhausted, that is for sure. But last time we saw a lane like this, it was a double ignite bottom for the last Karthus bottom lane. So that's a little bit of a loss, I guess. Slightly less than the lane.
Yeah, if you're running double ignite, you're really trying to run at them and kill them here. But we see NG Blossom, they're definitely just trying to play a little more on that team style, play around their synergy as a team, out rotate, as we've seen in a lot of their wins. We've seen some close games that they've had this year alone, and we've seen they win from a smite steal, or they win because they split the map up better, and they're probably just trying to keep with that. Use the TPs to get to the lanes, to counter ganks, to move around the map.
Absolutely. So as we begin to load onto the Rift, I always like to take a moment, just kind of review what the runes look like, what people are hoping to carry.
I'm just gonna say it now, man. Trigger Happy's gonna win this game. I'm
You're
believing.
calling Trigger Happy?
I'm calling it 0-2 week for NG Blossom here. The gods are gonna fall, man. The gods are gonna fall.
Well, we have Jace running a Phase Rush. We have a Karthus with Dark Harvest. Galio's running an Unsealed Spellbook. You have that Phase Rush on Graves.
Yeah, the spellbook from Galio is, I know that's been the big thing with Phase Rush and, cycling through sums for lane pressure. But not having Aftershock might really hurt him, especially I know they've recently done some changes to spellbook. I believe, right? Those nerfs have already gone through.
That hit this patch, making the cooldowns on it much longer.
Seconds? Yeah, it's about 30 seconds at all ranks, right?
Something like that. I would have to review those patch notes again. So as we load onto the Rift,
as we load in, we're gonna have to see if we have any, if you're famous shenanigans here for level 1.
Yeah, Mono will always want there to be an invade.
I can respect that. Invades are always fun.
I mean, when you're playing a Nautilus, an invade is a real possibility.
Yeah. Oh, we do see, a little 3-stack up here. They might be trying to cheese the top laner.
Absolutely. That's a big grouping on top lane.
Yeah, so we'll have to see if this Jace, if they're banking on a face check. Oh, smoke screen or anything? Nope.
And Black Oriole's pin flash to get out of there. And it looks like Heal Up and Exasperated are falling back. Exasperated going back to change out his trinket. And Black Oriole getting caught up hard. Looks like all 4 members there to knock him out.
Oh man, and we see Bard flashing in aggressively.
Heal Up also getting caught out, but managing to get back to the tower. He's probably going to miss the first wave, but... Or he's just going to stay.
Yeah, he's just going to have to kind of stay. I don't think he wants to burn his TP already. He might try to get an early recall in and TP back with like a Doran shield or a ring or a Cole or something.
So that guy walking away with First Blood, that's definitely not good news for Black Oreo Cookies.
Yeah, luckily he wasn't able to reset or spend the gold, but we definitely, Jace not having flash against this Olaf who's a kill up early game, that's going to be a very scary lane for the side of NG Blossom, and as long as they can keep jungle pressure up there and they don't get super hard focused, they might be okay. But if we see Graves try to force 2v2s around topside, we might see Trigger Happy build a big lead.
Oh, we have a bit of a fight in mid lane as Heal Up manages to get a ton of damage on Ishan. It is worth noting that Exasperated is doing a rush on level 3, doing both camps and a crump before probably looking at a top lane gank to support his top laner.
So he's definitely pathing topside and looking there, but we do have to be mindful. We have Graves, he's going for this red buff, he's pathing topside. He's actually taking that very full clear safe path, ready to protect or gank for this topside. We'll have to see if this Volibear gank mid works.
Around, looking to do a gank on mid. It looks like he's got a pretty good lockdown. Ishan having to flash out of it, going back in and getting blown up by Exasperated. Heal Up managing to get the assist there. That'll help a little bit.
And man, that was beautifully played overall. I like to see, the chain CC. He holds the hook till after he flashes. Just well done from the side of NG Blossom.
Absolutely. So we have Ishan teleporting back to lane.
Yeah, and we're going to see a 2v2 skirmish here, but there's actually a 3v2, as we have an early Bard roam up as well.
Absolutely. There goes Exasperated getting caught out, and Heal Up just trying to back off a little bit. It looks like both Scuttles are probably going to end up being sacrificed here.
Yeah, and we see, even though the Bard didn't directly impact that one kill, it definitely can discourage a little bit more fighting. As we see fights mid with, you know, the junglers coming up, so Heal It Up's gonna have to try to walk away here.
Absolutely. We have a little bit of a skirmish in mid lane, but it seems to basically fall back. We have a Exasperated falling pretty far behind already. Exhaust going down on only, but a lot of damage being put on Catinator. XDME being caught out and having to flash back. That is a very solid 1-for-0 on bottom lane.
Yeah, and that's a really good overall play down there. Both from Wundle and Noob. This Bard has really been making a splash so far in this early game.
Absolutely. Bard is a powerful support, and Noob has really been bringing it today.
And we're seeing the power of this Nautilus a little bit in these mid lane skirmishes. He's really taking it to Eshin up here with the Aftershock. You know, he's using his W passive with the Aftershock and just really abusing the fact that Galio's a melee champion like he is.
Maybe it turned out that Nautilus was the counterpick for Galio all along.
It definitely could be. I will say I don't think I've seen the matchup.
Neither have I.
So I'm trying to think back to when it was played a lot last season, and I don't think we ever really got to see Galio versus Nautilus exclusively in the mid lane. But we do see, you know, the Nautilus, like, he pushes it in, and now he's walking up a river on these wards to try to get a roam off. Kind of realizes he's been spotted out and just decides to reset.
So we have Wundle getting caught out by a gank from Exasperated, getting exploded as all 3 members on that bottom lane are able to pick up an assist, and it looks like they're hoping to try and turn that into a dragon.
Yeah, like you were saying, Exasperated's fallen a little bit farther behind originally, but we see, you know, with his comfort pick, like you were talking about, we're able to see him get some successful ganks off, and he's still down probably almost a level and a half, and he's still able to put out this good map pressure with the Volibear stun. We see, once again, some good CC with the flash stun, and just overall, he's doing a lot for the map.
Absolutely. And, I mean, Ishan has been... It was a early game, definitely advantage to Ishan, but it looks like Heal Up has been able to really bully this mid lane.
Yeah, and he keeps taking these really good trades. He keeps pushing the wave with his Nautilus E, and then, you know, he acts like he's going to roam and he'll throw a hook, and he'll just take this all-in trade. And Galio can't really do anything to really stop it, because Nautilus's shield is actually absorbing all the damage from the Galio.
Just half healthing. XDME getting some damage onto Noob. Here comes Heal It Up, trying to help out, but Games in Hand is there to support. And it looks like everyone's just going to be able to slip out of there.
Yep. And this is where everyone on the map, we got to start doing the Karthus counter. You know, he's almost level 6, right? It's almost as important as, like, Shen ult and TF ult. I would say probably is as important, where you have to, as soon as he hits 6, people need to know. Because these 1v1s no longer are 1v1.
There's a lot of posturing going around Dragon. A lot of just aggressive movements from Noob and from Wundle. And it looks like Games in Hand is going in to start up the first dragon of the game.
Yeah, so we see probably an early dragon coming out from the graves. However, Exasperated is kind of reading the map. He's taking this whole topside jungle, really pathing up there, and we might see a gank on the Olaf. So we'll have to see what he kind of chooses here.
And that guy getting a really deep ward. He's fairly protected right now. He has a lot of good vision. Exasperated going to be spotted out as he goes for that blue buff, so...
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate. So we're able to see, you know, that guy walk down the river, but for Exasperated, it's actually blind, so they didn't realize that that guy, you know, was right there, because it did look like he had a pretty good angle for a gank or, you know, like a pinch with Jace, but that guy ends up just walking away for free because they don't see him.
And now the expectation, is he going for a... Is he going for that Shelly? Maybe, maybe not. I'll tell you, every time I look down, I see Ishan at just like half health.
Yeah, every time we glance mid, he's getting chunked. The Nautilus is really playing this matchup well. He's actually in lethal range, I would say, right now. But I don't think Heal It Up is looking to actually kill the kill the Galio in lane. I think he's trying to keep him chunked so he can't roam. and then that way he can have the pressure on the map. Because if the
Gimps
Nautilus... Sorry,
Gimps in hand is clearing out this this Herald now. Pretty much uncontested.
Yeah, we see a good play coming out from him there.
Yeah, Exasperated just trying to catch up as best he can. Finally, like, getting to level 6. Finally getting those big dives, and he's just moving straight to bottom lane.
Yeah, he's finally caught up in levels. And like you said, he's moving bottom. We'll have to see, you know, with this ultimate, if he chooses to tower dive, or if he's trying to, you know, prey on the aggression of Troll the Noob.
And he got spotted by a ward very quickly. Didn't even clear it, but they are just going to shove in that lane and come straight at this tower.
Yeah, and meanwhile, top lane, you know, they go up there with the Rift Herald they take. They force Black Oreo Cookies to flash away from the tower. And we're going to see, you know, probably 4 plates go down. I don't think they're going to get the whole tower here, as the fight's happening bot lane.
Yep. In bot lane as a big dive comes in from Exasperated. A lot of damage going on Catnator as Wendell follows in. They manage to trade Exasperated for Troll the Noob, and everyone else seems to get out, but that is also going to see a tower dead on top lane. Black Oreo is trying to go back in and has to do a very good hop over the wall onto the Grump. Heal It Up is here to support, but Black Oreo Cookie is super low. Heal Up doing tons of damage to this Graves and managing to secure that kill, but they do lose the top tower.
Man,
and Wendell is also killed in the bottom lane.
And we saw, you know, that tower dive bot lane by Volibear. We see Troll the Noob with, like, honestly really great plays overall with the portal. And then we see XDME saving Catnator when he was 1 HP with that Janna ult over the wall. You know, Wendell almost finishes him off. I think when he ends up dying later on in the lane, I think it's definitely a tilt play. I think he's definitely playing with that edge of, you know, he should have had the kill, and he thinks he's going to be able to get it again, and then just ends up dying. The kill isn't going to Karthus, luckily. It was given to the Janna, but man, this is a good game.
We are seeing about a 2k gold difference in favor of Trigger Happy. As Black Oreo Cookie is getting collapsed on in the mid lane, it looks like he's going to get out of there safely, but here comes XDME to support. Troll the Noob getting slowed down, Exasperated in the wings.
Yeah, and you know, they've already broken up this top tier 1 tower, and we see XDME overstepping a little bit.
That was Troll the Noob's ults. They are now without Bard ult for whatever might come.
Yeah, they're without Bard ult for this dragon fight, but they're also without the Janna flash, as we see a huge skirmish bot lane.
Absolutely, we have 3 members bot lane to 3 members of Trigger Happy bot lane, 4 members now to just Heal It Up and Catnator.
Yeah, we saw double TP coming out.
Oh, Exasperated getting caught out on a ton of damage, having to use his ult to try and escape. It looks like that Janna Q might be able to slow everyone down long enough for him to get out, but Exasperated getting picked up by that guy's undertow. Everyone else on full retreat, Heal It Up, trying to get away, but a big stun coming from Troll the Noob. They try to turn on to that guy, put a lot of damage on him, but not quite enough. He's healing up. Catnator going to try and fire off that ult, but it is not going to be enough because it looked like that guy got a ton of healing.
Man, Troll the Noob is putting the team on his back this game, man. We are seeing play after play. This is the week, man. NG Blossom's going to fall twice. Support's going to win Player of the Week. It's going to happen. As we see them setting up around the dragon that they fought so hard for. You know, we have Troll the Noob. I'm gonna call it victory hits, you know, kind of the cheeky, I'm Bard, I'm just gonna walk up and auto you and walk away. As they do get the dragon.
So at that point, we have about a 3.5k gold lead going to Trigger Happy, as NG Blossom just continues to fall further and further behind.
Yeah, and you know, we see much of this gold lead on our 1v1 champion up there, that guy in the top lane. We see his Olaf that we want to get ahead early, that needs to really snowball to be useful, is ahead. He's really strong, and there's going to be no stopping him. You know, Karthus is an immobile champion. There's not like he wants to be close to people to do damage still with the way his E works. So there's not keeping Olaf away when Olaf presses R. He's just going to run through them.
Absolutely. He is a great way to get a hold of a Karthus and just beat the snot out of him. It looks like Black Oreo Cookies, now farming without a tower is just falling farther and farther behind as well.
Yeah, one of the, we can call it, shining moments as we see, Ghost coming out from the spell book to get away mid, is that Vayne. The Vayne is the weakest member so far still of Trigger Happy. They're down 30 CS about, they're 1, 2, and 3. And that's that late game carry with the Rage Blade we're looking to come online. So the longer that kind of stays behind, the longer NG Blossom will keep good in this game.
Like Heal It Up and Games in the Hand are about to come across each other. Heal It Up just trying to fall back as Games in the Hand chunks tons of damage on him. The Nautilus Shield definitely being able to help him get him.
And meanwhile, in the bot lane, we have Troldenube once again with making the plays. We had a nice little Bard stun coming out from him, and he ulted the tower. And, it's just a dead Karthus.
Absolutely. Troldenube definitely showing power and expertise with this champion today.
Yeah, and it's always fun. I think it's always fun to watch Bards, not just for the R plays too. I'm sure we're gonna get to see it at some point this game, but if you do like a Baron or a Dragon, having that portal, you just leave through the back of the pit. You don't have to walk out and be forced to fight. There's so many small things that this champion might provide to us this game. That'll be just a joy to watch.
So that guy managing to take another tower in top, and is just waiting while his jungler and support clear out a Herald. Just waiting.
Just kind of waiting around, hanging out, saying, hey, I'll kill whoever shows up, guys. Don't worry about it.
Just hoping to get a pick on whoever was silly enough to come check that Herald, but fortunately for NG Blossom, nobody did.
Yeah, so we're gonna, this Vayne is probably about to die. We do see, this is what I would call a super greedy play from an AD
lot
carry.
of pressure coming in. Ultimate coming in from Heal It Up, locking down Wundle. Here comes the Volibear ult, disabling the tower, and everyone's just able to walk out. That is almost certainly a lost tower. But XDMB gets stunned up in the jungle. Troldenube locking her down, and Ishan able to pick up the kill.
Yeah, so we see, they're punishing with this Rift Herald mid for the play that we saw bottom. But I feel like it doesn't need to happen, right? Like, your whole team's topside, they're not contesting the Rift Herald. So for me, you have to kind of know that they're going to be hovering bot side. And walking up to that tower against the Volibear was just a death sentence.
And here comes Heal It Up, trying to get a lockdown on Troldenube, who gets out. A lot of damage coming on Black Oreo Cookies. And it looks like Black Oreo Cookies is able to pick up Ishan. While in the bottom lane, that guy has hopped on this Karthus and utterly eliminated him.
Yeah, so we do see, the power of this Olaf down there, but the Jace picking up a double kill is certainly a window for NG Blossom back into this game.
Absolutely, that should be able to get them a mid tower if they're lucky. We have Dragon coming up, but all the members of Trigger Happy will have respawned by then. And Black Oreo Cookies is sitting here on very little life, so...
Yeah, we actually just see an aggressive TP coming out here from Ishan. They're really just trying to push this advantage here.
And that guy just wailing on the tower on bottom lane. Here comes Ishan coming in deep to stop the members of NG Blossom from getting down there, but he is getting chunked down. Exasperated stuns him out, but he runs. He gets out of there. Wundle is trying to chase down Black Oreo Cookie in the jungle, while that guy manages to finally clear the tower. Exasperated finishing off a rather greedy Ishan play. And here comes 4 members straight into that guy as he rips through Heal It Up. And they continue to fall. Exasperated using his ult to survive and managing to get a kill on that guy. Everyone's falling back. A great shot by Black Oreo Cookies to finish off Troldenube. And that was a 3-for-1.
Man,
for,
that's just
NG Blossom.
And that's just a very questionable play from the side of Trigger Happy. You have the game in your hands, and we see them just overchase.
And now they're going for a dragon fight. We have Games in Hand falling out of the tower, and it looks like this dragon is going to get picked up by Exasperated. Games in hand kind of stuck behind. XDME is really low, going to get hit hard by this Graves. Manages to survive barely, but they know where he is. He gets hit with a big Q from Black Oreo Cookies and finally picked up by... it looked like he was going to be picked up by Heal It Up, but instead it was Catinator securing the kill.
Yeah, and we see individually over chasing into that jungle. You know, Eshin kind of baits his AD carry there. The Galio going super far. The ADC tries to walk in and help, and then they just bait each other. And his whole team joins, and it looks like maybe that guy will bail him out. Maybe he'll, you know, run through the whole team and kill him. And what ends up happening is they all feed over some of their big shutdowns. We see them overstay to try to get the dragon even after they lost the fight. And this game, they had, you know, about a 4,000 gold lead. It's only about 1,000 now.
Absolutely, that was a massive trade. That guy is down here trying to pick a fight with Exasperated, while Choldanoob is having a little bit of a skirmish with XDME. But in all of these cases, I don't know, like... It feels like we have Baron coming up in just a moment. People trying to set up for that. The vision is definitely in favor of Trigger Happy.
Yeah, I think the vision is definitely going to be in their favor. They're still in control of this game, but all that gold they've fed over to Jace, I mean, we saw him basically pick up a full black cleaver from all that gold he got to spend. He's stacking his mana immune. It's probably about 200 away from being stacked to 20 minutes. So he's almost going to be insanely strong.
Absolutely. We have a Choldanoob coming in to make an attack with XCME, knocking him up with a very quick Q. A fair bit of damage goes on to Wundle, but he heals up off of a plant and river. And It looks like Heal It Up is just trying to hold off that guy on bottom lane, while everyone else is forming skirmish lines in mid and top.
Yeah, and once again, this game we actually get to see a Mountain Soul. So, just like last game, we'll see that, you know, Death's Dance on Olaf is going to come pay dividends with all these, you know, if they get both of them, all the resources they're going to get for free for Mountain Souls.
Absolutely. It looks like people are just in skirmishing lines right now, not engaging too hard.
Yeah, it's kind of just farming up the waves. It's a little scary to see the Olaf so far pushed up, but his team, you know, is topside. I just don't think they have the ability to actually do a Baron, even if they send two people bottom.
I mean, if NG Blossom moved to take out that guy or try and stop that guy with too much force, they would 100% be giving up Baron, so...
Yes. I just think with the fact that Vayne doesn't have Rageblade yet, you know, if it's just two members spot lane killing that guy, like if it's just Nautilus and Jace, I think you can't do Baron. I think you'll just die with, you know, how underfed the Vayne is, because, like we were saying, that guy is still the strongest member by far.
Wundle gets hit with a lot. Here comes the exhaust. Big ultimate from Exasperated, but in comes the Ishan. Tons of damage going on Exasperated. Wundle really low. Ishan getting hit up by... Oh, here comes teleports from that guy and Heal It Up. And we have 5 members of NG Blossom up top, 4 members of Trigger Happy. There goes that Olaf ultimate.
We still have Bardol here that can potentially re-engage this fight.
Absolutely.
But we saw kind of a... it's a very interesting choice there by that guy.
Catching Choldanoob, and Choldanoob manages to get out while using his ultimate.
That's a Bardol right there.
And here comes the Catinator kill on Choldanoob. There goes the Baron. That's a fight that's starting. Ishan kind of holding out in the wings, but that guy's not even close to showing up for this fight. Yeah, and
that's a fat Bardol, but it's after he kind of griefed with his face check, so we see, you know, him getting taken down. The power of the Karthus, as can we get a Baron steal?
There's the hope. Baron's sitting around 16. Sitting around 16, tons of damage going in, and it's Ishan, or it's Heal It Up that manages to get the kill. Games sacrificing himself. There goes the Nautilus ult, doing nothing against an ulted. Oh, that guy going ham, getting in deep. Ishan and that guy both picking up kills. That's 3 kills for 1, but also a Baron. Catnator almost certainly not going to get out of here. Black Oreo Cookies re-engaging, getting destroyed.
Oh,
we're about to be an ace for a Baron.
And
that
we got the dragon.
Wild.
Man, what a re-engage there from Eshan and that guy. The guts they have to just flash in 2v5, knowing how low they are, knowing the limits of their champions. We saw a huge taunt coming out, and then that guy just running them over.
Absolutely, that was a massive re-engage, clearing Baron buff off of NG Blossom, and walking away with their 3rd dragon kill.
NG Blossom is so lucky though too, because you know, as his name states, the game was in his hands, and we saw him actually come in with try to smite it, and we saw Nautilus of all people pick up the Baron. So we had a chance there for, you know, Trigger Happy to steal Baron and get the ace, right? That would be a huge swing in gold. It's still, you know, a massive play for them. You know, now they're back up to 3,000 gold. They're on Soul Point, and that's big because they were starting to lose tempo in this game.
Absolutely, that was a terrible game fight, or a terrible team fight for NG Blossom. They have definitely fallen behind now.
Hey man, if only they had a Bard portal to get out. Bard is, I love watching this champion in games. Even though in that fight he didn't have too much going on, it's always so fun. And we're gonna see, you know, what can they do here now. You know, there's no objectives on the map, so we'll have to see, you know, if we just kind of stall it out, because Vayne still hasn't hit that Rage Blade spike yet. It should be coming in
that
here.
Rage spike now.
Ooh. Baby, their team is looking good. We'll have to see, man.
We do now have an Edge of Night on Jace, giving, you know, that nice chunk of lethality. XDME almost getting caught out.
Yeah, so Edge of Night with the, you know, the spell shield and the lethality is nice. You know, the health will be good against most members. It'll help them survive. All of it's going to help them survive. Everyone except Vayne. So as long as he's not 1v1ing a Vayne, you know, he's going to love that item.
Catnator's still not finishing this Void Staff, still sitting on 2 items. You know, it looks like there's a number of items nearly complete for NG Blossom, but...
Yeah, and... You know, you point out the Void Staff not complete, but he doesn't even have an Oblivion Orb, right? And most Karthuses tend to at least get that Oblivion Orb rush. You know, when we see him jungle, they do that after their jungle item, because having that double pen is so core to him as a champion.
Absolutely. So, we're seeing a couple of members on bottom lane for NG Blossom, trying to put some pressure on that guy who has just been shoving this bottom tower in for the past, I want to say, 10 minutes.
It definitely feels like an eternity that he's been down here pushing this wave. We do see, you know, Troll the Noob is really helping him out with some of this vision that he's been setting up down there, and then he's been putting some wards down of his own. So he knows how safe he is down here. And, you know, the power of just this Olaf right now is, he's almost, does he have GA? He's about to buy probably a GA right here on this back.
Yep, that is a Guardian Angel completed on the Olaf. That is a hard to kill that guy.
Man, you gotta kill him twice. That's the big thing. You have to kill him twice. And not even to mention, you know, he can run in or flash in. So now he can flash into the entire enemy team to like hand deliver Galio. You know, you can die with your GA, and you even have Bard ult that can ult on top of you too if you really want to stall out some fights. So we have some crazy ways to keep this Olaf alive.
And it looks like this Ishan definitely getting pretty big as well, completing a Locket, has an Hourglass, has a Hextech Proto Belt. You know, this is a pretty big Galio as well.
Yeah, and if we're, you know, we don't want to count NG Blossom out. You know, they're only down 3,000 gold. So the keys to winning for them are just being able to burst down, like catch members of Trigger Happy out like they've done before. Or burst out this Olaf when he runs in, because when Olaf ults, he loses that resistance.
Absolutely. Looks like there's a little bit of pressure coming in on Troll the Noob. They almost caught out Games in Hand, but he managed to slip away. This entire time, you have Ishan just shoving down the top lane, while 4 members of NG Blossom are positioning for this dragon, and Black Oreo Cookies is about to come in, but they are going to lose a top base tower for this.
And the dragon's still 15 seconds away.
Oh, there goes Troll Noob at a huge lockup. He manages to freeze out 3 members. Exasperated having to ultra survive. We have Ishan coming in from behind. Lots of damage coming on to heal it up. It looks like all of NG Blossom is on the run.
That guy's just running through him right now.
Ishan taking out XDME. And that is almost certainly going to be a soul point. Catinator getting caught out by Games in Hand. Black Oreo Cookie just trying to provide some support, but that is going to be soul point. That is an Earth Soul going to Trigger Happy.
Yeah, and as good as that was for Trigger Happy, it's a really questionable play from Troldanu because the dragon still wasn't up for 14 seconds, and it's a 4v5, and he puts himself in a position to get hooked and just blown up. But he was able to get the Bard ult off, as you mentioned, before he died. And because of that...
Straight for Baron.
Straight for the Baron they go. They should be able to burst it down before any members of NG Blossom grace our screen. And we're gonna see, they have Baron, they have Soul. Can we see NG Blossom fall a second time this week?
It is definitely looking like it. We are just waiting for that inhibitor to fall now.
Hey, is this the last item time at from Olaf?
Yes. Just a late Tiamat pickup.
I'm not gonna question it because he's so far ahead, but it doesn't sound the greatest.
I mean, you have a good chunk of Trigger Happy finishing up their 5th items now. Yes, Wundle is definitely behind, but that guy finishing up final items, Ishan finishing up final items, they are demonstrating how far ahead they are.
Yeah, but we do see Catinator has that Void Staff coming in. It's now finished from last time. And we do have a very split, like 1-3-1 almost map state right now. So we're not going to see, big 5v5 team fight, at least for another minute, as they're pushing out these side lanes.
Exasperated managed to stop the minion push on the top lane before they took the inhibitor, which is good. But with these Baron buffed minions that guy is pushing in, it's no doubt that top lane is going to be under a lot of pressure again very soon.
Oh yeah, I think the top lane is definitely under some fire. We'll have to see, where he decides to position himself on the map, because their siege isn't the greatest, and I don't know how hard they really want to commit to these tower dive plays. So we'll have to see, if they try to just go for this open inhib top lane as 5, or if they kind of let their Olaf 1v1 up there and create pressure for them. Big Bartle
taking out 2 members. Here comes the engages. A deep dive that ends in Exasperated's death. Heal it up. Almost certainly going to die as his Zanya's wears out.
And they won that 4v5.
As that guy takes the inhibitor top, they are pushing in, clearing out this mid tower, clearing out this mid inhibitor, already taking down Nexus towers.
And we see another great Galio taunt.
Taking out, securing an ace on Team NG Blossom. This is a Trigger Happy victory.
And man, victory is sweet. Not only do Trigger Happy get to enjoy this win, I do too, because I never doubted them. I knew it. I called it. And I'm thinking it, man. I'm thinking this is the week, man. Troll the Noob popping off down there. Even with him getting caught, once or twice, I definitely can see him in the conversation for Player of the Week. And huge win, coming out for Trigger Happy. As they really make this push at the end of the season, they're really showing they can be a contender.
Absolutely. Troll the Noob definitely showing an incredible game there. But that guy being an absolute carry through everything. Excellent play on both ends.
So he carried them, almost the whole game. And then in that last fight mid lane, it was a 4v5 team fight that they were able to win. The whole time he's just top lane on that inhibitor. That was a great game.
Yeah, they didn't even need him. Just so much damage coming in.
Yeah, and when we get to take a peek at the in-game damage charts, it was a fairly low damage game for 32 minutes. We barely, we only see one member, or we see two members actually crest that 20k damage mark, and they're both on the side of NG Blossom. But that's mainly just damage over time. Whereas most of Trigger Happy's damage came in those team fights. They just, when they did damage, they killed people. They made it last.
Absolutely. It was a fantastic game. We're going to have a quick interview with Troll to Noob. Troll,
Yes.
wow. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Your bard definitely showing some skill there. How's it feel taking down the number one team?
I mean, I already told Ken that it was gonna happen. Like, it was planned. It's not a mistake. Like, it was just bound to happen. They lost yesterday. I said they're gonna lose again tomorrow. And what happened? They lost.
Absolutely. Congratulations. And, I want to ask, y'all have had a couple of roster changes this week. Savape benching himself. Y'all have games in hand and Wundle now. How are you doing with these new players?
I mean, we're doing fine. We upgraded our game bots and jungle. There's not much change, but now we have a Savapi looking for scrims, looking out more for team comps, and he's more focusing on coach aspect instead of being a player. So it just everything works out, and we're just here to be the best team now.
Absolutely. And y'all showed some dominance today. Between you and that guy, it was a dominating performance from the pre-minion kill on Black Oreo cookies all the way through. You've pulled some major plays there. I want to call out just like some of your bard tunnels into getting stuns. Definitely a power move there. How are you feeling with bard moving forward? Is this going to be like one of your favorite champions?
I mean, he always been, and because of the AP support item buff, it feels pretty good with the poke and everything. So I may use him more. That's for sure.
Man, we certainly look forward to seeing more of Bard.
And y'all are definitely going to be we're fairly certain that locks you for playoffs now. So what are your thoughts for playoffs?
I mean, we aren't scared of any team, so we'll just see what's gonna happen.
Absolutely. Jake, do you have any questions?
No. So the only really question I have for you, men, is it's always fun watching teams that aren't at the top taking down like some of the top 3 teams. Are you playing with nameplates off basically, or was there any pressure because they're the best team? I know you say you're not scared of any team, but
I mean, there weren't any pressure more than any other teams. It was just we knew that they weren't like 100% there mentally because they lost yesterday.
Mhm.
So we were confident we could take that win today, and it was gonna be easy like it was.
Yeah, and it was really good to see because some teams, you play the best team and they're a little scared, but we could definitely say you weren't scared. We saw, like you were saying, all those bard portals and flashes and big TP plays coming out from your whole team. So with that Baron fight, that basically swung the game for you guys. Where you 2v5 in. Did you guys make that call, or was that just those 2 players individually knowing?
No, it was the 2 players called it, and I was just running to help them. So we saw it, and we're like, yeah, we win it, win, and we just win.
All right, well, great victory, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Shoulder Noob. Congratulations to Trigger Happy. What a fantastic game to finish the week off. This has been week 8. We only have one more week for Ascendant League before we move into playoffs. So, next week is it.
It's the last
it's gonna be
week.
time for the summer split.
Yeah, and maybe we need to have a 1v1 tournament every week because that guy, he came out with some fire after winning that tournament.
It definitely got him going for sure. I mean, 10-1-6 on an Olaf. Love
against
to
the
see
best
it.
team.
Absolutely. So I gotta say, this has been a fantastic week to watch. A lot of drama, a lot of just fantastic play coming from teams.
Yeah, and next week is gonna be big. We have huge first day. We're gonna have huge minion differences in Smug Club as game 3, and that's gonna pretty much decide for huge minion difference. Can they make playoffs?
Absolutely. So I want to thank everyone. It's been a fantastic day. Congratulations to our winners. Um, Jake, do you have anything else?
No, just best of luck to everyone next week. Keep coming out like we did today, and we're gonna have a great